the special episode of Star Wars Holocron Entries. We're talking about Star Wars Visions this week. The 9, love odd numbers, 9 new episodes for Volume 2 have dropped from all over the globe this time, the animation studios, instead of just being the Japanese-based animation studios that were in the first series. So we're sort of escaping the, hey, it's Star Wars, but anime, and more into the, hey, it's Star Wars, but animation from all over the places. Joining me to discuss these episodes for this episode, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John, I'm excited to be here, but all these heathens will still call it anime.
I don't think that's how that... That's not how that works.
It was all anime, apparently.
Fair. I mean, people did refer to Star Wars Visions as Star Wars anime. That was the...
Yeah, because it was all in Japanese.
Yeah.
From Japan. So that you know...
So this gets away from the Star Wars anime thing.
This was Star Wars animation.
Yeah,
like the rest of Star Wars.
Animation for the rest of the world. Yeah. Well,
like the very Bad Batch, like the Bad Batch which we talked about.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to our discussion on this feed. It's the last thing we talked about, right?
No.
Oh no, there was a show, wasn't it?
Remember the Mandalorian was on? Fucking hell.
That says a lot.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that does say a lot. What were your overall thoughts on this volume? And before we begin talking about some episodes, and some maybe gloss over faster, and then other ones, if you like them more. But yeah, overall thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Lots of fun stories. Yeah, I think obviously it was really cool. A very more divergent art style, I feel like, this time. Obviously, with a couple of stop motion companies and like a couple like CGI heavy animation studios and that kind of stuff. So that like added to them all feeling much more different. And also like it definitely felt like there was more of a, because this wasn't completely from one nation.
Country,
it felt more multicultural, which is very different for Star Wars. I'm sure we've all felt like all the last season, first season ones were very different because they weren't American.
Yeah.
But this one even more so, like the elements of that. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't think there is something like the Ronin
Ronin,
that I think will transcend this season. But I had a really good time.
Would you still rate the first volume better than this one, or do you reckon?
I'm just having a quick look through our rankings from last season, and I'll say maybe season 1, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. It's hard to say without fully going back and watching, but overall, I would say that I think this is a overall better showcase of animation, and just makes for better stories. Like I don't think there's a bad episode or short or whatever you want to call it amongst all of this, really. There are obviously ones I like more than others, but I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch here. I put up a review, explosionover.com, gave the overall series an 8.5. In my review, I did give my ranking for the episodes. Do you have like a head ranking, or?
Listen, I'll have a ranking by the end of the episode.
Okay, fair enough.
And we can figure it out.
Okay, because I've got my ranking, but we'll go through the episodes in the order they aired in, quote unquote aired in. But...
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick it off with the first episode, stories titled Sith, came from animation studio El Guri. Written and directed by Rodrigo Blas. This one is about a former Sith apprentice who has escaped her Sith master, living in solitude, sort of on this unknown planet. The majority of it shows her the start of it, like wanting to do this painting, and she's trying to cover up the darkness and struggling with it and all these sorts of elements. And then her old Sith master comes down with some bounty hunters or robot droids or whatever, and comes for revenge or to recruit her back to the dark side, sort of thing. What did you make of this one, Sith?
It was very pretty. I think this is one of the obviously opening strong. Like it was very colorful, and it's got that painterly elements to it that like is very cool. And then you've got this action sequence with the bike, which is reminiscent of, was it Darth Maul had some like a bike similar to that?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah, which looks cool. Not very practical, really,
not really. No.
because you got this wheel right in front of your face. So how are you supposed to see what's in front of you? But that's
No, it's not.
beside.
It's actually no. It was. I think it was. No, never mind. I can't remember. Don't move on. So yeah, I reckon it looks like an oil, sort of oil painting esque is how I put it
Yeah,
for the backdrops and stuff. But yeah, it's this very sort of stunning and interesting art direction. Great way to start this volume out. I thought really fantastic. I loved the character designs and also the story itself. Like, you know, just kicking off this volume with, hey, it's not the it's there's a lot of stories in here that are twists on sort of stuff you're used to. You know, this is
yeah,
a former Sith on the run
okay.
from her Sith master. That's not something we're used to seeing in Star Wars. You know,
Yeah.
you know, like, that's not how that works. That's not a thing that happens. But I mean, it has kind of like in Star Wars before, but not to this degree.
Yeah, and I love the painterly style of that, and then also her waking up in the morning and the first thing she's doing, make a cup of coffee.
It's bringing
Even the
realism.
Sith, even
Yep.
the Sith need coffee to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even more so.
yeah, they definitely. Also, it was General Grievous who had like a blonde wheel.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, going up thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Drives up the side of that planet there before Obi-Wan
yeah.
fucks him up. Yep.
Also, I think Z2 might be the best droid in this season.
Whoa. Calling it already. Fair enough. All right. So then we had Screech's Ranch was the next episode. So this was from
Cartoon Saloon.
Cartoon Saloon, written by Will Collins and Jason Tamagi, and directed by Paul Young. This is the studio behind Wolfwalkers. Is
Yes.
the main call out. I know they've done other stuff, but that's their, well, at least to me, that's their most prominent thing. Wolfwalkers is great. Everyone should watch it. It's on Apple TV. Robbed at the Oscars. That's right. This one starts with this girl. Really great animation style, like sort of this side on, 2D animation thing happening before it switches out once she escapes the workplace, the mining or whatever she's doing. Then her and her friends end up going down this cave and everything. But again, sort of there's a weird subversion of expectations for this story again, because it turns out she's gone down there because she was getting called to by a Sith person, and there's a Sith Lord that comes down, and she goes with that person and leaves her friends behind at the end. So it turns her back on her friends to escape this grueling work lifestyle, but of course turning to the dark side, all in the same way. Yeah. Lots of really great animation here too. I love the character designs. I love the that scary sequence in the cave itself, where the Sith creature thing or vision or whatever it is comes out. It's almost like it's almost like Luke going into Dagobah swamp and seeing Vader. It's like sort of this Sith version of like facing your monsters, equivalent to that, or that's what it felt like it was sort of inspired by. So she faces down and beats that person, and then the Sith Lord comes down and sort of recruits her, the Sith woman. Really, yeah, and that dark imagery and stuff like that was really, really good. What do you think of this one?
I thought, this was one really good. Like you said, subversion of the ideas of of just setting it up. You thought, oh, she's going to become because she's looking at the light and everything. You're like, oh, she's gonna be like a Jedi called or whatever. Like, but then no, she's been manipulated by this Sith person this entire time, which kind of does also make sense when you go back and you think when she's like in this trance, going through this cave. She really only wanted to go off by herself, really, at the start, and like everybody kind of followed her and that kind of stuff. The opening shot is so fantastic. The slow pan up or tilt up, whatever, and seeing all through this mine and shit. It looks amazing.
One of those really cool paintings. I can't remember the style, but those paintings they do of workforces like that, where they've removed the like the building, and you can just see everyone, you know,
like a
that
cross section.
cross section sort of thing. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that, but for this workplace.
yeah. And then they did such a fantastic job of like building up that relationship between the guy and the girl, and like their
Yeah.
friendship, and the two little cute kids running around, being adorable, having fun shenanigans, and then for them to separate at the end, heartbreaking.
Yeah, she's just like, now screw you, I'm off. See ya.
Whatever
Bye.
it takes.
Whatever it takes. So then we've got In the Stars, done by Punk Robot, directed and written by Gabriel Sorio. So the story for this one, so I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, so this is the two girls, sisters on this planet, sort of claymation-ish looking design, I guess is how I'll do it. But it's stop motion sort of stuff. I loved straight away seeing this, create the design of the characters and everything paired with I love that TIE fighter coming down at the start, and just like that in stop motion, I thought was really, really cool. The spot like searching for them and stuff. And then they end up like they've lost their mother.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a mother, and then the youngest of the sisters, you know, keeps trying to use the Force to take down the Empire and fight back for the people of the planet. I love the backing to all of this story because it just breaks through to like they've taken away such an essential resource as water. It's nothing like, oh, this rare random mineral thing that you've never heard of that's just made up for this story. It's like, hey, what are they taking from your planet? Water. Fucking like the most essential of things that anyone needs, water. And that's what they're trying to break in and take and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, what do you think of this one?
I love the art style. I didn't love the story itself. Like, obviously, you've got this massive info dump at the start of explaining the mum's history and everything. I did find little girl quite annoying,
yeah.
which is another problem I had in another short as well. And also, they end the short with them releasing the water, but it's all gone into where the toxic water is. So now it's just more toxic water, right?
No, it's less toxic water.
Yeah, less toxic water. So really, did they really win? It's like, yes, we're going to drink this water. It's like Flint, Michigan here.
I mean, yeah, true, I guess.
At least they can see the stars.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing, you know? That's the most important thing. Yeah, I had this one ranked low on my list as well, solely because I felt like it was trying to do a lot in a very short 15-minute time limit. I didn't love the younger sister; she just seemed sort of dumb, and yeah, so I agree with.
But also, the older sister just not explaining
anything.
I guess rationalizing it. You know, which is another problem.
Yeah, so stop being an idiot.
Just listen.
Just talk to her like an.
They'll kill us. Yeah. That's how mom. Yeah.
So then we got into. The next one was I Am Your Mother by Aardman. This is the studio that does Wallace and Gromit. Yes. Shoutouts. Written by Magdalena Osinka, Holly Walsh Barunka O'Shaughnessy. That sounds like some Irish or Scottish last name. So this one is the story of this sort of young Twilight girl who's attending this, as her mum puts it, fancy school for like racing or whatever. Flight Academy, yeah. And then her mum's like the most typical, sort of stereotypical, embarrassing mum who loves her kid a bit too much and all this sort of stuff. But then once she shows up for the race, she's getting teased by like the school bully, and it's this family race where it was like sort of invite your parents' day, but for Race Academy, I guess is like what how it turns out to be. And then they go on this really big race. So yeah, this is one of my favorite from the season. I really like Wallace and Gromit and always have. Love that sort of style and humor. This is exactly all of that, but Star Wars. And I thought the characters and the relationship between the mother and the daughter, even in this such short time, was very sweet. And I would have happily watched more of it. It was really, really good. The animation style worked perfectly for this, like their style of stuff for Star Wars. This is the sort of stuff where I'm talking about, like, I want more Star Wars in different genres. funny Star Wars like this, all about it. This is sort of more of what I want. What do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. It was fun to see um, you know, just a more humorous take on Star Wars, especially in this animation style, which is uh, so completely different to Star Wars as we know it.
Yeah.
I guess the thing you could compare it to is like Lower Decks for Star Trek, which also is like a very funny thing in comparison to the very serious Star Trek. Even to the extent where they've obviously got a cameo from a prominent Star Wars character, Wedge Antilles,
Wedge Antilles doing his own voice,
selling merchandise, hologram photos and stuff. Yeah, really fun, and just the silliness of it all, and her flying the ship that obviously is their home, and all their clothes falling down, and the
underwear
little
everywhere,
whatever the droid is, it looks like a mix between a vacuum and a Datsun.
Yeah. Hanging on for dear life there at the end there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just lots of funny jokes. Of course, you use that gif of the little baby
in my
Wookiee.
tweet, yeah, very cute Wookiee. Yeah, it's just
and then it ruins their ship as well.
So good though. It's one of my favorite moments of the whole.
Just all the characters aren't so lovely as well. So
yeah, this was definitely one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, okay, if this is a proof of concept, you've proven me I want more of concept.
It's like, yeah. I'm trying to think of where in the actual canon it would fit. Like,
it doesn't matter to me though. I'm just like, I don't need half hours of these. Just make a whole series of 15-minute ones of these. Like, why do you need? And you
that's what this show is.
Yeah, but like all these, just let Aardman just do like a whole. You know what I mean? Like, just I would happily take. I would happily take Aardman season where they've got a bunch of 15-minute like stories.
There's an evil penguin monster that wants to steal your pants. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You could use the same two characters from this and you just a bunch of other things. You could add in new characters. Come on. I don't know. What's the next one? Where am I? Journey to Darkhead. So this was the most anime one. This is the most anime inspired of the one. So Studio Mir, directed by Hyung Gyun Park, written by Chung Si Rang. So this is the one where you've got this. There's a lot of like sort of stuff happening in the background here where I'm like, I don't know if I missed it, but they're doing this whole thing at the start where they're like these droplets are landing on things and they're like filling them out, and I'm like, I don't know, is this like they're like riders of the wheels, or like they're like vision people, or I don't know.
I think it's just like meant to be like a small village, like telling their ancient tradition is they can tell myths or futures from
future. Yeah,
they they don't know if it's true or not, but they just write it down, whatever interpretations, keep records of that. Obviously you time jump to like, I don't know, 15 years later, this girl is joined the rebellion, or the side of the Jedi, in a set on, thinks she knows how to stop the war by destroying a statue, because destroying art always fixes everything. But right. Also, and then it cross-sects with this Padawan whose master got killed and then comes in contact with the killer again. Classic Jedi story.
Yeah. I mean, the Sith was kind of cool because he has this whole whiplash thing going on combined with the lightsaber. So that was kind of cool. But it's, other than the combination of the weapons, it was still just an atypical Sith, like monologuing and whatever else sort of stuff. I found the Jedi character annoying. The girl was very bland. This is my least favorite of the season. I'll spoil that straight away.
Wow, because this might be up the top for me. I really enjoyed this. Okay. I think the action was really good. I love the art style. Obviously, as a big, Avatar fan, Studio Mir did a lot of
no blue people in this, but you
Legend of Korra. Wrong Avatar.
Okay,
sorry. Okay. I found the banter they had like back and forth about her wanting to take this mission alone or do things by herself, and him having to tag along. And that whole new Jedi Council looked really cool and stuff. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, fair enough. Then we get into the Spy Dancer. So done by Studio La Cagette, written and directed by Julian Chung. So this is a club in which it's like it doesn't really. I guess it's like set during episode 4-ish. Sort of like that period of Star Wars and everything like that. You've got these sort of stormtroopers coming in to let some steam off. Literally take their helmets off and relax in this club. And you've got this. They introduce this main character who. They're sort of like spies, so they're putting trackers on stormtroopers. They're working for the rebellion to help spread information, get knowledge and stuff like that. But amongst it all, she thinks she spots the person who's like this imperial captain or whoever who like fucked her shit up years ago prior and stole her baby and all this sort of stuff. But of course, the twist, which I thought was a fantastic twist, is that it's actually the baby all grown up. This one
damn!
has a really cool cliffhanger. This is definitely one of the ones where I'm like, okay, if this was the what's it called episode of a TV show, pilot, yep, consider me. I'll invest. I'll fully invest in this if this was a pilot, because I really liked everything that was set up in this. I really liked the bring it back to combining like original Star Wars, all these bringing in elements of the Vietnam War and all this sort of stuff in the original Star Wars from the flamethrowers and all this sort of stuff, and then tying this in with this has all this, because this used to happen during World War II, like people like dancers, erotic dancers, and whatever else. Some of them were spies, and they would get information and stuff like this. So I really like that tying in of the real world to the Star Wars world. That's always been a big part of Star Wars. So I thought that was really cool as well. What do you think of this one? Animation style again was fantastic.
Oh yeah, really beautiful.
Especially the dancing and everything like that.
The dancing, the whole use of the ribbons, obviously, like even just the like her putting the trackers on everything at like the start, and that being a thing, and then you completely forget about it.
Yeah.
And then obviously it comes back at the very end. Yeah, just the whole ribbon dancing. Obviously, this was I assume during like actual World War II, like this was a thing that was pretty common. Like
that's what I'm saying.
The dancers would actually be.
It was definitely common.
Shit,
yeah,
so.
that was. It's common knowledge. That was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, kind of reminiscent of Inglourious Basterds a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things that you would think would go together: Star Wars and Quentin Tarantino, right? Yeah, just really well animated. The twist kind of, I guess it works. It is a little bit of a stretch. It's like you haven't seen this kid since it was a baby, and you're like, you're it. It has to be. Yeah. But yeah, really good. Did she put the track on the eye patch, right? Or the inside of the eye patch? I don't understand.
I can't remember now, to be honest.
She's holding. It's the eye patch she's holding at the end. It's got a tracker.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I guess that's
so.
Yeah.
Unless she like gave him the tracker and then he put it on the inside. That's how he hides it.
Yeah.
On the inside of his eye patch.
Yeah, I can't remember how it ends, the exact final shot. So yeah, I guess maybe if that's what it is, then yeah, he put it in. All I remember feeling is that at the end it felt like that character was going to turn, like go back to his mum sort of thing. So I guess that adds up.
I know, yeah. We have to wait till next
season. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the one that was most frustrating in that isn't more.
Yeah. Then we got the Bandits of Golak, 88 Pictures Animation Studio, written and directed by Ashan Shukla. So this is very different for Star Wars, very Indian inspired story, characters, all that sort of stuff. Very cool. I really love the start of this. So I loved seeing these different types of people being represented in Star Wars, I guess, and influence and all that sort of stuff. Really cool. I did not like how it just fell into like a generic sort of Star Wars thing at the end. You know what I mean? That was my major problem with this. I feel like the whole train sequence, the hiding, all this, all that sort of stuff, really awesome. At the end, having an Inquisitor turn up and fight a Jedi who was in hiding, I'm like, we've seen that before in any of and it just felt like that's the reason I sort of have it low on my rankings, because I just feel like it fell off at the end. What do you think?
I mean, it's a beautiful shot. Really cool. I mean, sure, she's hiding in the Jedi in hiding, but it's cool when she reveals she's a Jedi in hiding. Also, very different looking Jedi than we've ever seen before.
And a
You know,
very different looking Inquisitor as well.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Like that, but again, it's a case of that kid was like,
Really annoying.
oh, so annoying,
Stop
and like
using the Force, you fuck.
it's like, yeah, it's just when your story relies on the character being incredibly stupid, it's a bit of a struggle, even though they're kids and that kind of stuff. That's we, but come on, explain we can't use force powers because the Senpai is hunting us. Come on, big brother. Like,
no, I assume he had, and she's just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm a kid. I do what I want.
no. Did you see what happened on the train?
Yeah.
I just got
Also,
chased.
snitches get stitches to those motherfuckers. Like
not in the Empire.
Yeah, probably not. So then we got the Pit. This was done by Diart Satcho and Lucasfilm combination. Written by Leandre Thomas, directed by Leandre Thomas and Justin Bridge. So this one is the story of Bane.
Yeah, I am the
no, this one. So there's a bunch of I know. What's it? I like it when I made this joke in my head the other day after watching it, and then for the rest of the day, I just at work, I'm just like, like just like stuck in my fucking head. But yeah, so it's a bunch of like enslaved people that may or may not be from this planet. I don't think they ever really say. But the Empire uses them to dig this tunnel or coal into a place to mine every single ounce of kyber they can. There's a really great shot in this, I feel, where they speed it up and they show them building the city in the background behind all these people just digging more into the earth and mining all the kyber. And then once they've got it all, their Empire packs up and says, all right, fuckers, I'm off. See you later. Leaves them down there. Kid has to climb out, tries to get help, doesn't get it. I like some of the sort of analogies that you can get out of this. The fact that, the people in the town weren't necessarily bad. It was just they were turning a blind eye to, like a lot of us do in the real world of where'd that come from? Like who made this city? Who made those clothes? Like where's the, they had this beautiful, stunning city that was just built from, it's blood diamonds, but it's kyber crystals, basically is how it sort of comes out. The characters were okay, I guess is my main complaint. I didn't feel like any of the characters were super strong, but I did appreciate that this had a little epilogue at the end, and I thought that was a nice little painting and everything that shows, the rise of, the positive sort of swing and message that comes out towards the end. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, well animated. I mean, a very simple story and probably like not like overly Star Wars. I mean, this is a story you can like pull from pretty much anything, like any universe, like even Earth. Even real life, you could probably like tell this story. But to have that Star Wars element, just also that time lapse of like the city being built and like that was really cool. The only thing is like I think the reveal at the end that they don't have a way out is like interesting because like when you're seeing them building it at the start, they're obviously building it in a way where they're able to get out of the pit. It's like, why would you build it? Well, I guess it's just the Empire telling you.
Yeah, Empire's like, nah, stop trying to dig it in a circle where you could come back. Nah, straight down. Straight down.
Straight down, yeah. Yeah, because there might be kyber crystals underneath the,
I guess so.
Yeah.
Also,
this season, very big on kyber crystals.
Very big on kyber crystals. Very big on also the other part you mentioned, which is just big on stories that could have just been not Star Wars. Not to say that's a complaint. Lots of just more human, I guess, esque feeling stories compared to the first volume.
Aliens.
Yeah, compared to the first volume, which was very like a lot more focused in Wild Force Star Wars shit.
It was like, hey, we're Japanese animation studios.
Yeah, let's go.
We know how to do action shit.
Yeah.
Let's go as crazy Jedi lightsaber battles as we possibly can.
Yeah.
It
worked, so
it did.
Then we get to the last episode, which is Are you song? Are you song? I'm not actually sure how you say it.
I think
Are
it's
you
AU.
songs?
Yeah.
Triggerfish Animation Studio, written and directed by Nadia Darius and Daniel Clark. So this is again sort of a, I don't know if it is actually stop motion, but it definitely has that the look of the characters look like they could be real life sort of toys or figures or claymation sort of. I don't know. There's something about them. Like they. I think in my review I said something about it looking like Yoshi's Woolly World or some shit like that. But that's sort
Yeah,
of,
that's probably fair.
yeah, they're very like the close ups. You can see the follicles of like hairs on the designs and
On the
stuff.
designs, yeah.
Yeah, very interesting character designs, I thought. Story wise, it's definitely not something I've seen ever in Star Wars before, which is, they're like, hey, the Empire, they give you this whole prelude text thing where they're like, people corrupted the Sith corrupted the crystals, we mine them out, Jedi's turn them. But then you've got this character who sings, and her singing gets so in tune with the Force that it can cause these mass disruptions and stuff like that. But of course, by the end of the short, she becomes one with the Force and is able to turn every single crystal in this mountain. And you see it. It's a really beautiful, cool shot where they all turn from red to blue within the caves and everything like that. I like this one. I thought it was good. I don't feel like the story was like as strong as the idea, I guess, if that's what makes, yeah, like the characters and everything were there. They were fine. The idea was the more interesting part than the world was more interesting than the characters itself. But I did like the animation with the fluffy designs and all that sort of stuff as well. What do you think of the final episode?
Yeah, I love the animation. I love the fluffy design, the world, the whole elements. I mean, the story is fun. It's very, wholesome, I guess. Like, she can sing a song and use Force powers and like wipe out all this evil, dark energy. And if her dad had to just let her sing a song to start off with, the whole mountain wouldn't have been destroyed. Uh, she could have been like, purifying the kyber crystals the entire time. And then a very sweet ending of her going off to train to be a Jedi, and her dad like seeing her off and that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I think it's like very sweet and like, I mean, the animation is definitely the world design is like the selling point. Like even like all the hills and stuff is like, was that all like actually made? That's some
That's
of that
right. It
has to be
looks
actually animated.
yeah, it looks real.
It's like the forefront stuff is like definitely like handmade, but like the background stuff,
I nearly need a behind the scenes series for this.
I do. I think we need a behind the scenes series series of
Visions,
this season of Visions. Yes,
they do it for every other Star Wars show, I feel. So
yeah,
come on Disney, I know you're listening. All right, so that is the final episode. So now I'll do my ranking first and then hit me with yours. So my official ranking from 9th to 1st, as per my review, again, that's up on explosionout.com. I had at number 9, Journey to Darkhead by Studio Mir. That's the Jedi goes to chop off a statue one. The Bandits of Golak by 88 Pictures. That is the Indian-inspired adventure, I guess, with the Jedis at the end. IU Song by Triggerfish, the one we was just discussing with the felt character designs. In the Stars by Punk Robot, that's the sisters fight back against the Empire. The Pit by Diat Chacho and Lucasfilm, that's the one where they're in a pit. Screech's Reach by Cartoon Saloon, that is from, again, the studio that did Wolfwalkers. Then number 3, I had Sith by El Guri. This one about the Sith, who's on the run from the Sith. Number 2, I had I Am Your Mother by Aardman. That's the studio that did Wallace and Gromit, and it's really funny and it's a lot of fun. And then my number 1 was The Spy Dancer by Studio La Cachette, which was the spy dancers with the baby that was kidnapped that was revealed to be there all along at the end. So hit me with your ranking.
Okay. My ranking, number 9, Bandits of Golak. Number 8, In the Stars. 7, The Pit. 6, Our Song. 5, Sith. 4, Screech's Reach. 3, The Spy Dancer. 2, I'm Your Mother. And number 1, your bottom one, Journey to Darkhead, yes.
So we had, I mean, you had The Spy Dancer and I'm Your Mother both.
Well, do you want to know? I quickly did the math.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
The combined list.
Yeah.
Number 9, Bandits of Golak. Number 8, In the Stars. Number 7, Our Song. Number 6, The Pit. Number 5, Journey to the Darkhead. We've got a tie at number 3.
Whoa.
Between Screech's Reach and Sith. And then a tie at number 1 for The Spy Dancer and I'm Your Mother.
Fair.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that is it. That is all our thoughts on the latest volume of Star Wars Visions. Of course, let us know your thoughts on any of the episodes, what you thought of this week's or this year's season of Star Wars Vision. You can do that on Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. You can do that on Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord.
Also, the music across the board was really fantastic.
Music was really good. Voice acting really good. Nothing super stand out, but just solid all around. But like not. Yeah,
I feel like the first season had a few more star-studded.
It definitely did. Yeah.
People, but yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be back in August now, I guess. I don't think there's anything before. Ahsoka.
It's Ahsoka, yeah.
I don't think there's anything between Ahsoka. So be a little bit wild before we get some more Star Wars content. But yeah, we're back in a little bit. Who knows? Something magical drop as well. Yep.
Have you watched the Young Jedi Adventures?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Of course I am. What are you talking about? Goodbye, everyone. May the Force be with you.
Takes us. Only whether or not to answer.